You can't write me up. This is my father's badge. 20-year-old Tyler Morgan holds the captain's shield in his left hand like a pass. The metal plate reflects the fluorescent light, and Morgan waits for the officer to understand. At this moment, Judge Samuel Rivera sets down his pen and, Mr. Morgan, this court is not run on borrowed rank. Do you understand the charges against you? I understand this is being blown out of proportion. That's not what I asked. His lawyer, David Hoffman, stands calmly. Your Honor, this is a domestic dispute that has escalated unnecessarily. My client is prepared to pay the associated fines and resolve this matter today. Mr. Hoffman, sit down. This court is not a payment portal. The words echo quietly but harshly in the courtroom. David Hoffman hesitates at first, but then sits. Rivera taps his pen once. Officer Daniels, confirm that the body camera audio is audible. Yes, Your Honor. Good. Before we continue with this video, please tell us where you are watching from, and if you are over 50, subscribe to Mercy Stories. Because in this video you are about to watch, you will witness what happens when someone tries to use a badge like a coupon. The officer steps forward, case file 24 to 10112. Commonwealth vs. Tyler Marcus Morgan. Charges: stopping and standing in a marked fire lane. Refusal to obey a lawful order. Using the position of a police officer to intimidate and threaten a change of duty. Improper possession and display of law enforcement identification not issued to the driver. Traffic and Patrol Officer Lucas Martinez issued the citation on Monday at 11:19 a.m. Then Rivera leans forward. Mr. Morgan, did you receive a copy of the citation at the scene? I got it. Did you read it? I looked at it. Not the same thing. Mr. Hoffman, is your client prepared to address these charges in their entirety today? David Hoffman stands up, this time more cautiously. Your Honor, we are prepared to pay the fines and proceed. My client has no prior record. Counselor, I did not ask about your client's record. I asked if he is prepared to address the facts. Now, sit down. Rivera turns another page. There's a note here, a campus parking warning from 8 months ago. Mr. Morgan parked in an emergency vehicle zone during a university event and received a written warning. It's not a criminal matter, but a context for judgment. Mr. Morgan, what happened in that incident? Tyler shrugs. Campus security was being overly technical. I was only there for 20 minutes. The warning states you refused to move until campus police were called. This isn't a penalty for today. This is a habit. David Hoffman tries his luck again. Your Honor, my client admits he could have handled Monday's situation better. He is here to take responsibility by paying the fines. Mr. Hoffman, paying a fine teaches nothing except how to swipe a card. I want to understand what happened. Mr. Morgan, walk me through Monday morning. Tyler exhales, audibly frustrated. I was running errands on Riverside Boulevard. I stopped for exactly 2 minutes to grab a coffee in front of Chen's Market. There was a fire lane, but nobody was using it. A cop came and made something out of nothing. I showed him my father's badge to explain I wasn't just some random person causing trouble. He kept writing anyway. You parked in a marked fire lane. For 2 minutes. No one was even using it. Mr. Morgan, fire lanes are not optional based on activity level. They are for emergencies. Let me read a line from the written statement of Thomas Chen, the shop owner. The delivery truck could not pull up. We had an elderly customer waiting for her prescription. Tyler waves his hand. That's not my fault. The delivery guy could have waited. David Hoffman interjects, objecting, Your Honor, we are introducing an irrelevant hardship that is not germane to the citation. Counselor. A blocked fire lane is a blocked fire lane. The obstruction of access is germane. That is the harm. Rivera turned to the officer standing by the side wall and, Officer Martinez, please read your narrative into the record. Officer Lucas Martinez stepped forward, calm and clear, and began to read. At 11:17 a.m., I observed a white sedan parked in the marked fire lane in front of Chen's Market on Riverside. The vehicle was unoccupied. At 11:19 a.m., the driver, later identified as Tyler Morgan, exited the store holding a cup of coffee. I approached him, stated that he was parked in a fire lane, and needed to move immediately. He said, I'll move in a minute. I explained I was issuing a citation, nonetheless. He produced a law enforcement badge, specifically a captain's shield, and stated, This is my dad's. You can't write me a ticket. When I continued to write the citation, he stated, Write it, I'll have you working school crossings. I asked for his license and registration. He refused, saying, My father is on patrol. Do you know who I am? Rivera pauses. Officer Martinez, did you perceive these statements as intimidation? Yes, Your Honor. Tyler leans forward. It was a taunt. I was annoyed. Let's listen. Officer Daniels, play the body camera audio. Just the relevant exchange. A brief hiss of static. Then Tyler's voice, sharp and cutting, Write it, I'll have you working school crossings. Rivera looks at his clerk. Miss Torres, did anyone contact the court or department about this case before today? She checks a log. Yes, Your Honor. 2 calls and 1 voicemail, all from Captain Morgan's office at the Springfield Police Department. What are the timestamps? First call at 11:41 a.m., second at 12:08 p.m., voicemail at 12:23 p.m. Play the voicemail. A man's steady voice plays, This is calling from Captain Morgan's office regarding a small traffic matter involving my son. Case number 24 to 10112. I'm looking to resolve this quietly before it proceeds. Please return this call. David Hoffman stands. Your Honor, my client can't control what his father's office does. This Thomas Chen available to give a brief statement. He is, Your Honor, by phone. Put him through. A man's voice, steady and matter-of-fact, fills the speaker. Thank you, Your Honor. I own Chen's Market on Riverside. That fire lane is critical for deliveries and emergency access. Monday morning, a vehicle blocked it for at least 15 minutes. My delivery driver couldn't pull in. We had an elderly customer waiting for her prescription. She has mobility issues and can't walk far. That lane is for ambulances, not latte runs. Fire lanes are pre-cleared emergencies. Tyler mutters something under his breath. Rivera catches it. Mr. Morgan, if you have something to say it clearly. I said it wasn't 15 minutes. Mr. Chen's statement says it was. Officer Martinez's timestamp indicates that you exited the store at 11:19, and the citation was issued at 11:24. This is a documented time. Mr. Chen, thank you. Your statement is on the record. The line clicks off. Rivera picks up another document. Miss Torres, this is a screenshot of a text message from the prosecution. Can you read it? From Tyler Morgan to an unnamed contact. Timestamp 11:23 a.m. Monday. Got stopped. Used Dad's badge. He said he'll fix it. Tyler's jaw tightens. That was private. It was allowed in evidence. Mr. Morgan, let's look at the timeline. Traffic stop at 11:19 a.m., your text at 11:23 a.m., first call from your father's office at 11:41 a.m. That's a clear sequence. Influence doesn't erase actions. You may not have asked, but you expected it. You told someone not to worry because your father would fix it. That's not just frustration. That's entitlement. David Hoffman stands again, more slowly. Your Honor, because of Captain Morgan's public role, we ask that the rest of this hearing be private. Public proceedings could affect his position and cause tension in the department. Mr. Hoffman, fairness means staying on the record. Rivera looks at Tyler. I'm going to ask you 3 yes or no questions. Did you park in the fire lane? Yes. Did you refuse Officer Martinez's request for your license and registration? I was going to give it to him. That's not a no. Did you refuse? Yes. Did you show a captain's badge and use your father's rank to threaten Officer Martinez's assignment? Tyler hesitates. I showed the badge to explain who I was. That's not a no. Did you use his rank and threaten his assignment? Yes, Your Honor. This feels targeted. Tyler's voice is tense. Other people park in fire lanes and don't end up in court. Mr. Morgan, this isn't about your character. It's about correcting a pattern. Others may park there, but not everyone waves a captain's badge and threatens an officer's job. You're not targeted. You're being held accountable. David Hoffman shifts in his seat. Your Honor, Mr. Morgan is a college student with no criminal record. One mistake shouldn't define his future. I agree. That's why I'm treating this as a learning opportunity, not a judgment of character. The campus advisory was a warning. This citation is a consequence. If we don't address it now, the next time could be worse, like a firefighter unable to reach a building because someone used authority they didn't earn. The room is silent for several seconds. No one moves or speaks. Tyler looks down at the table. David Hoffman's pen is still. Officer Martinez stands by the wall. Rivera finally says, accountability is quiet so the truth can be heard. Here is my decision. The evidence supports all 4 charges. Officer Martinez's account is credible and backed by body cam audio, a photo of the fire lane, the text message, and the clerk's call log. Mr. Morgan parked in a marked fire lane, blocking emergency access. He refused to follow a lawful order to show identification. He used law enforcement credentials that weren't his and used his father's position in a way Officer Martinez saw as a threat. He expected special treatment because of borrowed authority. Rivera pauses. This court doesn't decide cases based on titles, connections, or family badges. Borrowed authority is still misuse of authority. Mr. Morgan, your father's rank doesn't extend to you. Your status doesn't erase harm. The badge isn't a coupon. He turns a page. I also note the earlier campus advisory. That was meant to teach, not punish. You were told that emergency zones matter. You chose not to learn that lesson. Consequences teach what privilege hides. The total fines add up to $610. Stopping and standing in a fire lane is $200. Refusing a lawful order is $150. Intimidation and misuse of authority is $200. Administrative fees are $60. Tyler exhales. Rivera raises his hand. I'm not done. I'm suspending $300 of that total if you fully and promptly complete a restorative accountability plan. If you finish it, that part is forgiven. If not, you pay the full amount. Here's what you must do. First, write real apologies to Officer Lucas Martinez and Thomas Chen. No form letters or PR statements. The apologies must say what you did and what you learned. Deliver them in person if both agree. If not, mail them and the court will confirm receipt. Second, complete 80 hours of community service with the Springfield Police Department Community Engagement and Youth Safety Division. You'll answer phones, help with walk-ins, and do school outreach. No PR tasks or photo ops. The division commander will report your hours to the court. Third, help with 2 school talks called Respect the Badge, Don't Borrow Authority. Listen to officers explain how it feels when a badge is used against them. Fourth, write and record a 60-second public service announcement titled, Badges are for duty, not for discounts. The court will review the script. No family names or branding, just the truth. Fifth, complete a course on traffic authority and the ethics of law enforcement families. File the certificate with the court. Sixth, write a 700-word reflection on borrowed power versus earned respect. No slogans or fluff, just the truth. Rivera sets down his pen. Mercy isn't a discount. It's a contract. Additionally, I'm making the following recommendations on the record to the Municipal Court Administration, the Traffic Division, and the Springfield Police Department. 1. Establish an ex parte influence log for all cases. I'm also making these recommendations to the Municipal Court Administration, the Traffic Division, and the Springfield Police Department. First, set up an ex parte influence log for all cases. Any off-record contact regarding pending cases should be documented and reported on a weekly basis. Second, require a supervisor's cosign or recusal if a command-level officer contacts any staff about an active citation. Third, establish an anti-retaliation policy for officers involved in traffic stops with relatives in law enforcement. Officers who report intimidation or misuse of their badges should be protected from retaliation. Fourth, develop a guide for escalating fire lane enforcement. Repeat violations or those involving claims of entitlement or badge display should lead to toe-first actions. Fifth, provide an education module for teens and college students about the legal and ethical risks of misusing law enforcement connections. Honor, I'm Captain Marcus Morgan. I'd like to handle this matter internally. Rivera doesn't stand. Captain, this is an active hearing. You're welcome to observe, but I won't discuss the case with you outside the record. With respect, Your Honor, this is a department matter. My son used my credentials. That's an internal discipline issue. Captain, this is not your case to manage. Your rank does not ride up here. Your son has counsel. He has a voice. This stays public. Department discipline is yours. Judicial transparency is mine. Tyler interrupts. Dad, stop. I did this, not you. Captain Morgan turns toward him, surprised. Rivera's gaze sharpens. Captain, your authority ends at that door. Step back and let your son answer for himself. The captain hesitates, then nods and moves to the back row. Over the next 8 weeks, Tyler works through the plan step by step. In the first week, he writes an apology, but the court rejects it. Too much deflection. Not enough accountability. He tries again and improves. Officer Martinez agrees to meet him at the station. Their conversation is short, uncomfortable, but necessary. Martinez says, when you waved that badge, you made me afraid of doing my job. That's not sarcasm. That's intimidation. Thomas Chen accepts the written apology but doesn't want to meet in person. He emails the court, he named what he did wrong. That's enough. In weeks 2 through 7, Tyler completes 80 hours with the Community Engagement and Youth Safety Division. He answers calls, schedules school safety visits, and helps with walk-in hours. No cameras or social media posts. One officer tells him, respect goes both ways. You can't demand it with someone else's badge. In week 6, he helps with 2 school talks and listens as officers explain how it feels when their authority is used against them by a relative. One officer says, every time someone waves their dad's badge, it makes the next traffic stop harder for me. In week 7, he records the PSA. The first version is too polished and vague, so the court sends it back. He records it again, simply and honestly. The second draft is approved. The compliance course takes 2 more weeks, and he finishes it without complaint. The record is clear, 80 hours completed, 2 talks done, 1 PSA approved, and 1 sense of entitlement addressed. Officer Martinez tells the court, he showed up. He listened. That matters. Should every badge misuse case result in real service within the department? Yes or no? Tell us below and subscribe to Mercy Stories. 8 weeks after the first hearing, Tyler returns to court alone. No lawyer, no father, no group. Rivera reviews the documents, apologies, service log, PSA recording, course certificate, and written reflection. Mr. Morgan, I've read your reflection. I want you to summarize it in your own words. No script. Tyler stands. I thought my dad's badge was something I could use when I needed it. I didn't realize it's not mine. It stands for his service, not my convenience. When I showed it to Officer Martinez and threatened his assignment, I didn't just disrespect him. I disrespected every officer who earns their authority by doing the job. I used my dad's work to avoid my own consequences. He pauses. I also didn't know what it felt like to be on the other side. When officers explained how intimidation makes them second-guess good stops, I saw that I didn't just threaten one person. I threatened the process. What did you learn from Officer Martinez? That borrowed power isn't real power. It's theft. When I waved that badge, I took away his ability to do his job without fear. That's not sarcasm. That's abuse. What did you learn from Mr. Chen? That fire lanes aren't about me. They're for people who need emergency access. I blocked a vital area, not just a parking spot. Rivera nods. You stopped borrowing power and started earning respect. He signs a form. I'm forgiving $250 of the suspended amount. You still owe $360, to be paid in installments over 6 months. The court will check your compliance. Remember, Mr. Morgan, fire lanes are for emergencies, not egos. Thank you, Your Honor. Don't thank me. Thank the people who taught you what I couldn't. 4 months later, the new policies are in place. The court publishes its first, ex parte, influence log. 1 command-level call is recorded in the first 2 weeks and handled openly under the new rules. Officers say they feel safer with the anti-retaliation policy in place. Traffic supervisors update their teams on the new procedures. Fire lane enforcement increases across the city. 2 protocols are used for repeat or badge-related violations. Complaints dropped by 28% in the first quarter. Tyler's PSA is shared with 16 high schools and used in youth safety workshops. It's not viral or widely celebrated, but it's being used, and that's enough. An officer emails the court, "A kid asked me in a school talk if he could use his uncle's badge to get out of a ticket. I showed him the PSA. He understood. Thank you." On a quiet Friday, Rivera finishes his last case of the week.